My name is Dan, and I'm the site pastor of Lift Mohawk. You could say the story of Lift Mohawk began years ago in my own undergrad at Queen's University. I was this lost 18-year-old kid just looking for community, looking for someplace to belong. And I looked for a church and there was nothing there. And so I went to the only community that was there. And the price of admission was a red Solo cup and some beer. God ended up changing my life and worked through a crisis of mine and ended up bringing me into ministry. But I always had this passion for our campuses, passion for students like me, passions for students that didn't know Jesus and would never have the opportunity to, just because the church wasn't there and wasn't present on our campuses. So when Robin, the leader of Lift Church, he approached me and he shared his vision for a church on Mohawk campus in our community, I couldn't say no. Fast forward a little bit, and after spending some time just on campus and doing research, in September of 2018, we launched our Simple Churches on campus, our small communities of discipleship and believers. We also launched some serving initiatives on campus just to care for those on campus. And just through that presence and through that discipleship emphasis, we just started multiplying like nobody's business. Way faster than we anticipated. Also, we had 3 separate simple churches of believers, and we want to be able to connect all of our disparate groups and actually have a moment, a touch point for us to worship God together. And so in March 20th of 2019, we launched our first official Lift Church Mohawk service. It was an incredible night. The president of the school, so many people came to support us. But even more incredible than that first night were the weeks to come. Were the months to come, and seeing my team just really grow, seeing people that were lost and hopeless just come to hear the good news, the hope of Jesus. People that are drunk and wandering in because we meet on the bar on campus, people that are transgender and wrestling with their identity, people struggling with mental health that have been looking for hope for so long. All of a sudden we're finding a place to belong, finding hope and finding identity, not in the things of this world, but in Jesus. By far, the most important thing that I can tell to a new church planter would be that the team is so important. Of course, God is first and it needs to be rooted in prayer. That kind of goes without saying. But I can tell you that without Robin and the leadership team and the network team at Lift, but also without my own leadership team at Lift Mohawk, my church wouldn't exist. But the coolest thing is that as much as that it is stressful, and as much as there is a weight of responsibility and leadership, my church is sort of the wrong word to use. See, it's not my church, it's Jesus' church. And so during all the hard times and the times when I put all the weight on me, the times that I'm scared to move forward, I can rest easy and peacefully knowing that, no, this is Jesus' church and Jesus' name needs to be proclaimed on that campus. And if he wants his church there, then nothing is going to get in the way. I am just along for the ride, and it is my honor and privilege to be used by God in that way. I was asked to talk about why churches should give, and honestly, I have a very simple answer, is that it's biblical and has been part of the legacy of church from the very beginning. We talk about wanting to get back to this Acts 2 church. Well, in the very beginning of Acts 2, in the early church, almost all the epistles talk about gifts, whether it be people or resources or often finances. It is just part of the DNA of the church to be sending, to be multiplying, to be giving. And so very simply, we give and we send because that is our legacy, and that's what I see in the Bible. If you're wanting to plant a church, I encourage you. This is a bold journey and you're taking a bold step of faith. But it is an incredible journey, and it's one that if it is God ordained, then it is going to be so incredible. It has been the honor of my life to lead this church thus far, and I cannot wait to see what God does in me and through me in the months and years to come at Lift Mohawk.